Can seem like we're in the season of losses. Deaths and illness from the pandemic, loss of the idea of equality for some, losses of jobs, loss of a previous way of life, and now the loss of a respected Supreme Court justice.
So how do we handle all this grief? How do we cope? One way is something called a grief leader, and joining us now is our relationship guru, Dr. Kirsten Lynn-Seal, to explain a little bit about this idea of grief leader, because it's not something that I've ever heard about before. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what is it? What is a grief leader?
So the idea of a grief leader is just that it is something that we can choose to do ourselves, which can be extremely empowering. And in this way, we can say we are going to help model, help people get through their grief, while also, of course, grieving ourselves. But so this idea is so that we don't feel like we're drowning in grief all the time. And it's pretty simple. It's just a little bit of a reframe and about sort of taking on that role with your friends, with your community, with your family. That's what a grief leader is.
This comes out, David Kessler is the grief expert that kind of started some of this idea, right?
Yes, exactly. So, he co-wrote the book with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, switching, sort of adapting her 5 stages of grief with terminally ill people to 5 stages of grief. And then he added a 6th stage, which is called meaning. And he has a book out about that. It's a pretty recent book. And so his idea of a grief leader sort of incorporates sort of 4 basic things to think about and to sort of act on as we think about going through our lives, being a grief leader as opposed to someone who just feels sort of pummeled by uncertainty and by the really difficult times we're living in right now.
So the first thing is what? Yeah.
Yes. So the first thing to do is to acknowledge and name that the grief is there. What can often happen in these, really in times of sort of this collective trauma that we're in, is that we can have feelings of like we can have brain fog, or we can be exhausted, or we can feel really demotivated. And what can be very helpful is for someone, that would be the grief leader, to name, I think what you're feeling is grief. And sometimes when you say that to people, they will literally burst into tears because that will suddenly click into place for them, helping them understand what's actually going on.
Number 2?
Number 2 is be there. Show up for people. This could be a FaceTime call. It could be a phone call. It could be like a socially, physically distanced walk. Just be there for people when they're grieving. When people seem to be having a hard time, show up.
Because they're so lonely when you're going through grief, right? You feel very isolated.
Exactly. That is one of the things that grief can be very isolating, especially if you've lost a loved one. Like in those situations, it's hugely isolating. So showing up for people. And then also, number 3 is being vulnerable and open yourself. So there's a really interesting thing. We tend to think that if we're going to be sort of leaders or role models in any way, we have to sort of be impervious, like we're a superhero, Nope, I'm not scared, I'm not sad. And in fact, the exact opposite is true. The more we can acknowledge our own grief and loss, and we can do this by maybe telling a personal story or just being vulnerable in the moment with people and saying basically, I feel sad, I feel grief, I feel, anger, then we are actually modeling for them that you can have the emotion on the one hand and still be functioning on the other. And that's a really important message to send.
What about the final component?
So the final component is also really conceptually so important, and that is to help people find meaning, right? And so whether it's suddenly understanding if you lose someone that you love, suddenly thinking, you know what, life is really short. How am I going to shift things to live my life more fully? Maybe volunteering for something, taking some sort of action can be really, really important and very, very meaningful and powerful and empowering for the person. But so basically what you want, the message you want to send to your folks, to your loved ones, being a grief leader is, I see you, I hear you, and I am with you now.
Great message. Kirsten, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.